Do. I feel like that's my song of the day. I love it. I haven't done an exciting live feed like this in a while. I feel like I just need to get comfortable and relax. I got my iced coffee, so you go and you grab your iced coffee too. Or perhaps you want to grab a glass of water because it's always good to stay hydrated. Always good to stay hydrated. I'm stoked. I'm always excited. I have to be honest. I'm pretty much always excited. But today we are going to talk about how to get more sleep as a parent of twins. Raise your paw if you're sleeping enough each night. Yeah, I'll be over here just sitting here not raising my paw. I've been so tired lately that this is something that I was so excited about researching, because when we do these live feeds, if you guys don't know, we do a lot of homework and we look for studies and we look for, what I really do. I dig in. I dig on in. Because if I'm going to come to you, I want to make sure that what I'm saying to you is amazing. So we knew that we were doing a live feed today with our friends from Love to Dream. And if you don't know, we're going to talk about it too. And we have some giveaways too. This is a Love to Dream. Oh my gosh. Right? I don't know if we call it. It's a swaddle blanket, but it's not really a blanket. It's more like a wearable blanket. Fred, stop saying what? You want me to tell them that we're gonna have? Okay. Calm down, Fred. Calm down, guys. This is Fred. His head got turned. I don't know how, so he has a little bit of torticollis, but we're gonna work through it. I really actually have no idea how his head got turned. But if you've never met our Twiniversity babies, okay, hold on, Fred. Let me fix your swaddle because I just grabbed you and I shouldn't have done that. Okay, guys, this is Fred. And this is Ginger. Do you remember our Twiniversity babies? They are with me every single month in Twiniversity class. And typically this is what they wear. Somebody wears a Love to Dream swaddle and somebody's always wearing like a plain old pajama. So this is what we're talking about today, is not only how to get these guys to sleep, because we have tons of content on that on Twiniversity, so we don't need, we could still have that conversation if anybody wants any tips or tricks when it comes to sleeping twinnies. But today we're actually going to talk about how you could get more sleep. And I know you're like, but Nat, that's impossible. Fred? Oh, that's Ginger. Please hold. Fred, the classic twin mom. That's not impossible. She's going to give you some tips. You're going to love it. It's going to be great. What, Fred? Oh man, I'm telling you. All right, you guys take a little bit of a nap, or you want to stay with me. So let's first talk about, let's get some of our housekeeping in order. The way that this is going to go is over the next 40 minutes or so, I'm going to sit here and I'm going to spew off tips and tricks about getting you guys to sleep. All throughout, I'm going to keep saying a giant thank you to our partner at Love to Dream. They have been with the Twiniversity family for years. I feel very, very, very fortunate to get to play with them. And I remember when I first met Hannah, who designed the Love to Dream blanket, that I went to like an event here in New York City, and it was a nice lunch. Don't get me wrong. I love me a good lunch with fanciness. But when I met Hannah and I got to hear the backstory of how this came to be and how excited she was to bring this to the United States, because that's how long we've been working with this. I actually don't even know. Jewel, if you could tell me how long we've been working with them, that would be crazy. But I remember going and I was like, I cannot believe, because at the time, most swaddle blankets were either the do-it-yourself blankets or the blankets that had some kind of Velcro strap. And so when Hannah was there and Hannah was like, hey, listen, I don't know, why babies are swaddled in a position like this, right? Because typically you would have swaddled your baby like this, or you would have swaddled your baby like this in a traditional swaddle blanket. Think about this. When your baby does manage to get over, how is your baby going to be able to, what if your baby can't get back? So it made such total sense to put your baby in kind of like the baby's first bank robbery is what I call this in Twiniversity, just to make everybody laugh. But if you think about it, if you put yourself in a paws up position, when that baby gets turned over, when Fred goes over, Fred could use his paws to move himself. It's absolute, mind-blowing genius. And this was revolutionary at the time that Hannah came to the United States with this, and has always been a deep part in my heart. Just because, guys, you know it, right? You know that we don't know when our twins are going to roll over. And if you think about it, this makes such sense. So the Love to Dream swaddle, right? Let's talk about it. This is the Swaddle Up original. Why arms up? Well, we just talked about it so babies could get over, but there's another little side benefit. Fred loves to chew on his paws. So this gives Fred the opportunity to sit there and chew on his little paws. Will this unravel? With this unwind? No. Everybody knows your babies are going to chew on their paws. So it's going to be right there, which is going to help him be so much more. He's going to soothe himself. And that's really the tip when it comes to sleeping. And we're going to talk about our sleeping, don't forget. But for the baby sleeping, you don't teach anybody how to sleep. It's really the act of going to sleep and the process of self-soothing that makes the sleep successful. So by Fred being able to chew on his little paw, that's a self-soothing technique that he's going to apply, and he will be able to sleep better. Another great, awesome feature of this, which guys, you really may have to make sure that whatever sleep blankets you even possibly consider that it has this, you need to have the feature that it has a way to get off and on from both bottom and the top. So if you're doing a quick change in the middle of the night, I can unzip it. Are you guys using the Love to Dreams now? So if you are, shout it out. Tell me what your favorite feature is, because I really do want to know. But it goes from the bottom to the top. And that way, if I'm taking this off him for the day, very simple. And also it has, look at that too. Do you guys see that it has a little like zipper pouch so that the zipper can't get his 12 chins? Because my babies had a lot of chins. I was very fortunate to have babies with a lot of chins. So if we're taking this off for the first time of the day, let's take this off him right now. Come on, Fred, pop on out. You know you want to. And that's it. So a quick change in the middle of the night, the zipper at the bottom, and of course the zipper at the top when we're taking it off for the day. Okay, Fred, we'll come back to you in a second. Let's start getting into our discussion today, and we're going to come back and we're going to give away some Love to Dream items. Don't you worry. You guys know I always hook you up. I always make sure that I hook you up. So first, I want to talk about something that's kind of like universal sleep, whether it's an adult or whether it's a child, or it doesn't really matter. This is a universal tip. If you have not set the stage for good sleep, you really, really need to. Okay, now what do I mean by that? Do I actually sleep on a stage, Nat? No, you don't sleep on a stage. What I mean is that there's certain conditions that your room needs to have in order to have the stage set for sleep. So the first one is, does anybody want to guess? Because I kind of like this. I would love if you guys would guess what you think the stages of sleep are. I mean, the stages set the stage for sleep, not the stages of sleep. That's a whole different discussion for a different day. But how could we best set the stage for good sleep? Right? I want to make this interactive because I feel like I'm teaching a Twiniversity class today. I've had such great classes in New York City lately. I'm telling you, man. I want to do that every day. I want to teach people. So today I get to teach you. Well, if you have taken a Twiniversity class or if you have read our book, you will know that there are different things that you need to do. So number one, okay, we need to have a dark room. A dark room is what we're looking for because our brain needs to know that our adult brain knows that darkness equals sleep. And if we are in a room that is too bright, our brain is going to be like, no, it's a daytime and I need to stay up. So please make sure that if you need to sleep during the day, right, because your little twinnies are babies and they are not having enough sleep like they should, then you need to put out blackout shades on, in your room or whatever. I just fixed Fred's head. Now I feel so much better. So you need to make sure that your room is dark enough. So I tell you, in your baby's room, it should be dark room, white noise, cool temperature. Those are like the big ones. But many parents forget that you actually need to do that for your room too. You could buy dark out shades or blackout shades. They have them at Walmart for like $6. I'm not even kidding you. So there's no excuse to be like, I can't do it. Because truthfully, you could take a towel from your bathroom and you could throw it over your window and therefore your room will be dark. So dark room is one. Number two, there are so many studies that show that little bits of sound intrusion in the middle of the night will disrupt your sleep pattern. So, we tell you to use white noise for the babies. Guys, you got to use white noise for you too. How many of you, show of hearts, thumbs ups, whatevers, how many of you are using white noise right now when you sleep? Fred's raising his hand, but his hand's always up, right? Fred, what do you think, Fred? I want to know if you are currently using white noise. You should be. And when people say to me, but Nat, I'm really worried because the babies are using white noise and I'm worried that they're going to become addicted to white noise. Guys, it's fine. There's so many benefits to white noise. It's not even funny. So the benefits are that it drowns out all the other sounds of your home and all the other sounds of outside so that your mind is on a steady stream and you could really get some solid sleep. So dark room, white noise. Next thing, cool temperature. What's funny about the cool temperature is in the research that I was just doing for this particular live feed, and then I, of course, was just updating the book. I was looking at it, and the suggested sleep, it's so, I wasn't going to curse. I was going to say freaking, but I just stopped myself. But it's so varied that it goes from that the recommended temperature is from 60 to 70. 10 degrees is a really big variety that, is out there. So I would say 68 to 72. That's going to be my goal. I personally like to sleep in 64. I find that 64, I like it super cold, but you may not. And also up here, up north, my 64 is different than somebody who lives in South Florida's 64. It's just whatever you're comfortable with. But ideally, between 68 and 72 degrees seems to be the universal standard of how cold your temperature should be in your room. But err on the side of colder because we just sleep better in the cold. Okay, now the next thing that I want to talk about is, Love to Dream makes this great swaddle up original blanket. They also make a variety of other blankets, but this is such a big component. Of course, it's a big component for the babies, but it's just as important for us. How many of you sleep in pajamas every night? And I don't mean buck naked, but like how many of you actually sleep in actual pajamas? Or shout out to me and tell me, yes, I sleep in starboard pajamas. I sleep in a nightgown. I don't like to have socks on. I must have socks on. How are you most comfortable when you sleep? I personally know I cannot sleep with pants on or shorts on. So like if it's super cold and I need to have my legs covered, I have a really difficult time sleeping. I am a straight up nightgown girl. I have 4 nightgowns currently in rotation. None of them are really nice to look at. One of them actually is covered in hair dye. It's a long story, but I still wear it because I am very sensitive to certain fabrics. Sensory problems much? Yes, I too. I have my own thing, right? It's not a sensory problem, but I like a certain texture when I sleep. So I need to have very particular type of cotton that I sleep in. One of the reasons why Love to Dream makes this material, which is I actually wonder if it's 100% cotton. Let's see. It probably will tell us. We will tell us. So the thing is right now, this is how your baby is going to be comfortable sleeping, right? Your baby is going to sleep paws up in this unbelievable fabric. I think it's pretty much, I got to find out what it is. Oh, there it is. It's 93% cotton. I knew that I was going to find it on here. And by the way, all of that is written on the back of this box. So easy to find. But of course, it took me a minute. So cotton is my jam. Cotton is Love to Dream's jam. I am most comfortable. I love it. Sweatpants and socks. I sleep in a nightgown and a lot of socks, people. Wow. Oh my gosh. A heated blanket crystal. Ooh, I've always wanted a heated blanket. I've never quite had one. Me and Kimmy, we're twinning right now with a nightgown girl. I totally need a nightgown. I can't sleep in like a long t-shirt. It doesn't do it for me. I need to sleep in a nightgown. So I have gotten accustomed to that, and your babies will get accustomed to whatever sleep garment they're in. The great thing is if you are worried that, oh my gosh, do I wear something heavier in the winter? Because I don't actually. I wear the same 4 nightgowns all year long. But if you're worried about how heavy the material is for your babies, let me tell you something. That the way that Love to Dream does it, let me see if I could bend this so I could get this close to you. Do you see something called togs? The 0.2 tog, 1.0 tog. So that is the weight of the fabric and the recommendation clothing by temperature. Not many companies have this, and this right here on the back of their package, which is free on their website too, if you're curious to take a look, it literally will tell you the weight that the clothing should be depending on your temperature. Could we have this for adults? Could we have, I'm sure that there's probably some fancy like Swedish company that does, togs for adults, but I love that Love to Dream has that particular clothing sizes on there. So know that that's on there. It also gives you the sizing, by the way, too, that your babies should be wearing based on their age. So they have the newborn, small, medium, and large, and then over there you got your fancy pantsy togs. I love it. I love it. We're going to come back to that in a little bit. So now that we know we're going to sleep in comfortable pajamas, socks, no pajamas, whatever you want, you got that. The next thing is this is really important too. And it's important for the Twinnies and it's important for you. You need light during the day. Now, some of these tips that I'm going to give you, you're going to be like, Nat, Captain Obvious. Like, of course we need light during the day. You know what? You would be surprised at how many people just go through their day without opening their blinds, without opening their shutters, without getting their face in some kind of natural light every day. You would be very surprised. I am telling you, it is something that we all need as humans. We need to have some kind of natural light. If you look behind me, this is my living room. I only use shears. I have a very limited amount of natural light here in my apartment. And you could actually even see that I have a fire escape. Like, I know some people think, like, I live in one of those buildings that God forbid there was a fire, I'd actually have to use the fire escape. So forget about the fire escape. The fire escape, I feel, does block my light a tiny bit. But there are times when I do not get any direct sunlight at all, depending on the time of year. And this is going to sound super nuts. Sometimes the only direct sunlight that I ever get is when it's hitting my neighbor's window across the street and it's bouncing into my apartment. And you will see me curled up on the couch like a cat, getting my light, or at least some part of my body, in that sunlight. If you know this is fact, please tell me, because I know I am not the only one. I actually have a vitamin D deficiency. And once a week, I have to take 50,000 units of vitamin D because of the lack of sunlight. So it goes to show, well, clearly that's not for everybody. I literally had a blood test that told me that. But, it's such an important component to human life that now I have to take a supplement because I'm not getting enough natural light. But if you keep your days light and you keep your nights dark, you will actually have more success sleeping, regardless of how much sleep you actually get, because your Twinnies may or may not be keeping you up at night. Okay? So light during the day, dark at night, open those blinds. It sounds obvious, but do not, really pay attention to this because it's important for the babies. And if you can't get out, like let's say, it's a busy day, the babies are freaking out, it's just not happening. My mom used to tell me that one thing that always calmed me down is when she would get me fully dressed and she would put me in the stroller and then put me in the sunlight. So the apartment was always a little bit cooler, but she said I was a very colicky child, which of course it came back to me with the Twinnies, but she would always tell me that sunlight and me have always been friends. I don't think I'm special. I think sunlight and everybody are just friends. So try to get as much light as you possibly can during the day. Now, this is another one, the next tip that I'm going to give you. And if you have any questions, by the way, just shout it out. And Marley from South Africa, that is a little bit away. That's just a little jump across the puddle. Oh my God, Marley, welcome. Everybody say welcome to Marley in South Africa. These should be available by you too. So if they're not, let us know. We could certainly look to see where in South Africa you could find these. So the next thing that I want to tell you is not only good for the babies, and if you notice, there's a trend here, because the thing is while we're talking about adult sleep and how we get more sleep, it's so interesting how the tips that I would give you for us are actually really conducive to the babies as well. So the next thing that I want to tell you is stick to a schedule, right? When the babies are born, we tend to put them on a feeding schedule and then we get them on a sleep schedule. And we're so on point about making sure that they are on a schedule, we often forget that we should try to be on a schedule ourselves. Now, here is what I mean. Do I mean that you go to sleep every day at 10:30? No, I do not mean that you go to sleep every day at 10:30. But I do mean that you get up the same time on the weekends that you got up on the weekdays and just try to stay on that schedule. Now, to help you stay on that schedule, do you guys know what time it is? I haven't done a live feed in so long that you may have forgotten what time it is. Could you tell me what time it is? And I don't mean the actual time. And for those of you that are Twiniversity users, I'm going to take a sip of my coffee and you could just shout it on out. Oh. Yep, you guys guessed it. It is officially prize time. Who wants to win a prize? Hearts, thumbs ups. I want to win a prize. Do you want to win a prize? I want to win a prize. Do you want to win a prize? There's nobody there, but I'm going to talk to that person. You babies? My box babies? Do box babies want to win a prize? Box baby, you want to win a prize. Box baby, you want to win a prize. Box baby, you want to win a prize. Everybody wants to win a prize. If you would like to win a Starbucks gift card, okay? Or if you want Dunkin', we'll go for that. But we're going with a coffee gift card. If you would like to win a little pick-me-up, because nothing beats caffeine, I would love to give somebody a $10 gift card to help you pay for, well, if you drink fancy coffee that's covering one coffee, I can't help you with that. But you could still get inexpensive coffee at Starbucks. I really don't want people to be like, oh my God, Nat, that's so cheap. Yeah, that's what you're getting. You're getting a $10 gift card. And if you would like the opportunity to win this gift card to either Dunkin', Starbucks, those are pretty much the two that I could give you. If you don't have those, we could do Amazon. We'll be okay. But all you have to do is just say, I am so tired. I am so tired. That's all. If you're tired, we want to help you wake up. Thanks to our friends at Love to Dream. We're going to give away some gift cards. It's always so much fun. And this actually is from Twiniversity because I'm addicted to coffee. I've officially stopped buying my coffee outside though. I am only drinking coffee in my house because I need to save money for college tuitions, Fred. You know, when you get big and you got to go to college, I don't want you to be like, Mom, you got nothing? You spent it all on coffee? Not happening. So all you just have to say is, I am so tired. And Jewel will go and pick a winner and she'll shout it out to me. And then we will tell you who is going to be our big coffee winner of the day. I love it, guys. Oh, Fred, everybody's saying it. Everybody's so tired. Me too. Oh, me and Fred really are tired. The funniest part is that just thinking about being tired makes me have to yawn. That's what happens. So sticking to a schedule on weekends is really going to be important, and hopefully that little cup of coffee or those few cups of coffee are going to do you some good over the weekend. You can buy your partner a cup of coffee. Don't get anything for the kids though. Although now when the kids are bigger, I remember maybe when they were like 6, they were allowed to have a hot chocolate at Starbucks. And did you know that they have a kitty size? They do not advertise kitty sizes at Starbucks, but they actually have a kitty size, and it's either 99 cents or $1.49. I can't remember. But they give the kids their own little hot chocolate. So they always felt like, oh my God, I'm so bougie. I'm drinking a Starbucks coffee when they were little. It's so funny. Now, my kids are broke because I don't know if they know, they don't have jobs. So they get an allowance, but it is so minimal. They can't even buy one coffee. Don't tell me I'm a bad parent. I didn't get an allowance when I was 15. It was something called working. I told them to Google it. I hope that they look something up. I wish them the best, guys. So they get no Starbucks now, and I'm shocked that my kids aren't on trying to win prizes now because they're at this point of their life. But let me tell you something. Truthfully, you really do need to stick to a schedule. So let me tell you, a way to do this is if you are flying solo, no paid help, you're not alone. I don't love when people think that they can't do this. You totally can do this. So one way to stick to a schedule is to have shifts. Both you and your partner, you take a shift, you cover the 7 to 2, I cover the 2 to 6, whatever it is. But if you do shifts, then you could have a predictable evening, and having that predictable evening will keep you guys on a schedule. Another thing that you could do is, if you can, maybe, you have a few extra bucks, or maybe there's a volunteer in your neighborhood that's willing to come and stay with the babies for an hour. You're not going out to get your hair did. You are literally going to go take a nap. So if you could schedule in some time like that, that is another way to stick to a schedule. But we're going to talk about naps in a second. And you know what? Honestly, always remember that chores could wait. Now, could all the chores wait? Like if you have no clean clothes, could chores wait? Maybe not. If you have no groceries, could chores wait? Maybe don't go to a grocery store. Maybe just go, to an Instacart kind of situation and buy your groceries. But chores could wait because you really do need to get some sleep whenever you possibly can. Sleep deprivation is a literal form of torture. A literal form of torture. I remind this all the time to our Twiniversity students, and now I'm telling you guys too. It's not it's not something you want, it's something you need. So we got to get as much sleep as we possibly can. I'm curious to know, how many hours of sleep straight did you guys get last night? Okay? How many hours of sleep did you get? Did you get 3 hours straight? I mean, uninterrupted. I don't mean what time did you go to bed. I'm going to ask you that in a little bit. But, what time did you guys get? How many hours of sleep did you get? I know how many hours of sleep I got. Last night, I was technically in bed for 10 hours, but I probably only got about 6. I'm not feeling well. My daughter's got a little bit of a cold, and I feel like whatever virus she has is like just making me lethargic. Thank God I don't worry about it. I can breathe on Fred because he can't get sick. That's why Fred is my favorite child. He can't get sick. Oh no, Ginger's my favorite child too. I could breathe germs on Ginger. It doesn't really matter. I want to know how many hours of sleep. Laura got 3, Anna got 6. That's not too bad. Michael got 2, Brian got 2 maybe. I'm telling you, this is Notice the trend. I don't know which way you are looking at this or down wherever the comments are, but notice the trend that parents, we don't get a lot of sleep. Parents of twins, do we get half as much sleep? I don't know if it's half as much, but it's pretty up there. So please try to pay attention to some of these tips, so at least the sleep that you're getting could be good quality sleep. Okay? Next thing. Fred's gonna tell you, guys, my name is Fred, and my mom has a bedtime routine for me. Yes, I have a bedtime routine for Fred. We do bath time, we do bottle time, we do book time, and then we do bedtime. That is what we did every single night when the twinnies were little. I felt like I was living in the movie Groundhog Day every night. We started baths at 6 o'clock. By 6:30, we were having a bottle. By 6:45, they were in their cribs. I was reading them a book. By 7 o'clock, I was out of that room. It was like I was a fine oiled machine. I knew what was happening. How many of you have bedtime routines? Not the babies. How many of you do? Okay, my bedtime routine is I fall asleep on the couch because I'm overtired. Then I wake myself up aggravated, and then I think, should I just sleep on the couch all night, and should I just stay here because I'm already comfortable? And then my husband says, go to sleep, get out of here, go rest in bed. I say, fine. Then I go into the bathroom, I brush my teeth, I take out my contact, I sometimes, not all the time, I'm not the best, remove my makeup. And then I have to take a blood pressure medication, and I have to take a Prilosec kind of like refluxy thing. So I take those before I go to bed, and then I get to bed. When I get to bed in my room, I put on my pajamas, and then after I put on my pajamas, I plug in my phone, I make sure that my alarm is set, and then this is where all heck breaks loose. Because when I go to set my alarm, then I'm like, ooh, I should see if somebody messaged me on Instagram. I was waiting for that. Ooh, I should look to make sure, that I did this, or I should check my email. I do this so many times. Pause up. How many times you guys do this? Now, here's the problem, okay? The problem is that when I start doing this, and this is my literal phone, it's always plugged in. When I start doing this, I then start waking up. And then I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm really not tired. I wonder, why I'm not tired. And so then I start looking up, I love to read, and I love to... Hold on, guys. Anna, I'm literally in the middle of a live feed. Are you okay? World, that's my daughter, and that's her friend Catherine. Okay. All right. All right, goodbye. What's happening? Why is there a fire alarm? You're okay? All right, goodbye. Go back to class. Goodbye. That was my daughter calling me from high school, and it's a very obtrusive ringtone. So there you go, guys. Welcome to the lives that are Twiniversity lives. So I get so guilty, and then I'm obsessed with playing games on my phone. So sometimes currently right now I'm playing Hotel Empire. Don't judge me. I love it. But then we're also heading to Disney soon. So then I start looking at my Disney World app and I'm like, ooh, maybe I should change those. Then I also have a Peloton bike now. So I look to see, ooh, what classes are in the morning? Do I want to take a live class? Do I want to do a taped class? Then after that, I'm like, ooh, I wonder if there's anything new on Prime Video. Who does this? I cannot be the only one that does this, right? Look, I'm looking at all the guilties. Bryant, I love that you are giving me tips to use Siri to set my alarm. Can I tell you something truthfully? My alarm is always set. My alarm once is always set. I actually have it set up every day. I have like a school day alarm, but I'm so panicky that I would still check it. This is my problem. This is my absolute problem. So the real rule is no electronics before bed because blue light really, really messes you up. So now here's the thing. I know I'm going to do it. So do I become like Julie? Julie actually bought blue light glasses. Do you know that you could buy blue light glasses? So you put on these glasses and then it helps the blue light not get emitted into your brain in a certain fashion that it doesn't wake you up. So you know what's interesting? Think about how that happens to you, okay? This happens to you. I'm looking at everybody that, has this happen. Amy uses a real alarm clock. Amy, you're a genius. I don't know why. I have a real alarm clock. I just don't use it. I've become so dependent on that little rectangular device. It's ridiculous. I did buy the kids a real alarm clock, though, because they're not allowed to have their phones in their room. But we are so like that blue light wakes you up. Do you know what happens to the kids too? So if you're letting your kids watch TV or play with their tablets before bed, it's the same problem. Like this is what everybody's like, I don't understand why the kids can't fall asleep. It's the same reason I can't fall asleep. It's the same exact reason why all of humanity can't fall asleep if you start playing with your tablet or device before you go to bed. So this is something that needs to be cut out of our life if you possibly can. Okay? Okay. I think it's going to be time. I think we're going to give away some more stuff. Oh, that's what I wanted to tell you. We are giving away any 2 products in the Love to Dream line. Julie is going to put in a link. You're going to go fill out a form. You're going to tell us which ones you want. So instead of just being like, hey, you know what? My babies are too big for the original, so we need the swaddle up. Or you know what? Hey, my babies are too big for the swaddle up. We need the transitioning bag. Like there's a million different items. Well, not a million. How many do we really have? We have the swaddling, right? We have the swaddling. Then we have the transitional. And then we have independent sleep. The sleep suit is new. I don't know if you guys have seen that. It's pretty awesome. It looks like MC Hammer pants, but what's so great about it is that it's kind of like it's like a hybrid of a nightgown and pants. So for those of you that like nightgowns like me, and those of you that like pants, I wish that we could have a sleep suit. Do you see it? It's this one. Hold on. It's this guy right here. Let me put my finger underneath him, right? I'm going to be like, oh, there goes the hammer. That is what that looks like, is MC sleep suit. And the whole point is, if you look at it, when your kids are wearing that sleep suit and they try to lift their leg to get over the crib, they can't. I love that. So a lot of people want, the sleep bag, but then if you have toddlers that need to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night, that's where the sleep suit comes in. That's really so much fun. So Julie's going to give you a link. There you go. It's a Love to Dream giveaway. You get to choose any prizes that you want. So any 2 items from the product line of Love to Dream, you're going to like it. They even have hats. They have little loveys. There's a lot of things that they have. So go take a look. Make sure you go and take a look and see which ones you want before you make a final decision. Okay? Oh my gosh. I thought that was what I saw them on Amazon. Yes, they are on Amazon, so you got that. All right, now next thing. The next tip that I'm going to give you guys is I'm going to tell you that there are I found over a dozen studies that say if you are having trouble sleeping, you should exercise. What does this mean? Do we go to, a boot camp class? I don't know. I don't know about those boot camp classes. Sometimes I see the people in my neighborhood, there's a boot camp class that's nearby, and they make them run around the block with the kettlebell. I don't actually think that's safe. I don't think that people should be set free into the wild while carrying a kettlebell in Chinatown in New York City. It's not a good idea. It freaks me out a little bit. I have to be honest. So do I think you should do that class? If you like it, I think it's great, but I would not recommend it to any of my friends or family. But some type of exercise during the day. Does this mean that you start, curling your babies? That's one exercise that you could do. Not recommended. Fred likes it though. It makes him laugh every single time. You can't hear him laugh because he's not real. But things that you could do is you could go for a walk with your kids. Put them in the stroller and go for not a run, not a jog, but like a brisk walk that you feel your heart rate go up a little bit. Should you be pouring sweat? Maybe. Totally up to you. But whatever you decide to do, please make sure that your stroller could handle it. So you can't take, a $30 umbrella stroller and try to go jogging with it. Not the best idea. There are particular wheeled little strollers that are made for different things, right? So there is literally a jogging stroller if you're like an avid marathon person. But most strollers, especially the ones with air tires, could certainly handle a very brisk walk with your 20s. Exercise is key. Try to get some every day. It's strongly recommended. If you can't, try a few times a week. But it was really impressive, the scientific research behind exercise and sleep. So our kids are getting exercise because, like, if you have toddlers, when do you see them stop? They literally, from the minute they open their eyes to the minute they close their eyes at night, they are constantly going. So hopefully that's why they sleep better. I'm always wishing everybody good sleep. But exercise if and when you possibly can. Okay. All right. Oh, I have another Natalie. Yay. I love when our Nats are here. Nats. Now, it is time for a little Love to Dream break. Next thing that I want to talk about is I do want to talk about the Swaddle Up transition bag. Do we want to talk about that? Yes, I really like that. So these are two. This is the stage 1 swaddling, the Swaddle Up. This is the stage 2 transition bag. I'm going to take it out for us right now. I have so many of them open. I don't know why I'm opening a new box, but I kind of want to. I like opening a new box. It makes me feel like I'm receiving a gift. We talk about these in our Twiniversity classes. By the way, always make sure that when you get any product, whether it's a Love to Dream product or anybody else, please read this. There's a reason why companies actually spend time creating documentation, and it's not to make themselves feel fancy. It's actually to make sure that you are following the rules. Love to Dream does not want to hear it. So they have created their rules in so many languages. Some of them I can't even identify. I mean, I imagine that's definitely Arabic. We could play a game called What Languages Are These? By Natalie Diaz. We could have Cantonese. I don't know. I actually don't even know. That's probably Korean. I know that from the signs in Koreatown when my sister gets Korean barbecue. That I definitely know. That's one of the ones I know. German. German's always easy to recognize. It's a rough language. It's got hard stops. Spanish, got that one. But look, it is there. Make sure that you are always reading and you're keeping this for future reference. I often have a folder that I keep all of these little booklets of any piece of equipment that I'm getting. Keep it in one folder so you could always reference back to it. Okay? So that's in there. And then you have your transition bag. Why do they call it a transition bag? Well, let me tell you. Fred? Well, actually, everybody say bye, Fred. Bye, Fred. Come on, Ginger. Come on out. We haven't played with you today. All right, so we got our Ginger. She smells so good, Ginger. Why do you smell good, Ginger? I love it. So the transition bag has the little zipper on top. We're going to open it up. I'm going to put this on. Actually, can I try to put you on this so that people can see? So, of course, you always make sure that the edge of the garment is on Ginger's neck appropriately. And then same thing. Paws up, Ginger. Paws up. Okay? So we're swaddling her paws up. We're taking her little feet. We're putting them in the sack. And then we are zipping up. Zipping up. Okay, come on, Ginger. You got this. Okay, now, look at this. As Ginger grows, this is the transition swaddle, so the little arms come off. And so as Ginger is transitioning from, traditional sack to this is what it is. So look at this. So this is the transition bag. And when you're swaddling, hold on, I really want to fix this so people can see how cute you look, Ginger. Right? I'm going to put you in your Sunday best. So this is the transition bag. And now why a transition bag? Because when your baby when it's time to transition from no swaddle at all, it's tough to just go cold turkey. So Love to Dream makes a transition bag so that I could take one sleevey off, and then when she's ready, I take the other sleevey off, and then we're pretty much in a great little bag here, right? This is so sweet. This is so sweet. Come on, this is the best. Look how nice. I have so much leg room. Ginger's not on the short side, but she has plenty of room to grow. So this is one of the things. They make a lot of different stages at Love to Dream, and you could just zip off one arm, zip off the other arm in the next day, and you are good to go. And now this is basically the garment that you're going to use, and the little zipper pieces are actually on this, so you don't have to worry about that irritating your baby's arms. See? It just comes right off. And now she is in a cute little transition suit. Oh, Ginger, I'm so happy. So guys, we are nearing the end of our Love to Dream conversation and the way that we get you guys to sleep better. Another few things that I want to remind you about before we leave, because I wrote way too many tips for you guys, never thinking that I really always think that I'm going to get to it in enough time, but I always run out of time. But please, really, no electronics before bed. Please make sure that you have the stage set for good sleep. So dark room, white noise, cool temperature. Please be thoughtful about having comfortable clothing, just like you do for your children with the wonderful Love to Dream swaddles. Do the same for yourself. Light during the day. Light is so important, okay? Light is important. Stick to a schedule, right? We're going over our little tips. Stick to a schedule, even on weekends. My family thinks that I'm absolutely crazy that I get up on the weekends at, between 6 and 7:30. If I sleep to 7:30, that's like sleeping in for me. But I find that if I get off a schedule, it takes me too long to get in. And my Monday stinks and my Tuesday stinks, and I just can't get back into it. And now, at the ripe age of 26, I really realize that this is just better for me. This is better. Yes. And I have a beautiful bridge to sell you if you really believe that I'm 26. Nobody does, thank God. You guys aren't that gullible. So with this, set the stage for yourself. Give yourself some good sleep. There's always time to have some coffee in the morning if you don't. I love it, but you can't coffee yourself into better health, and you really do need to have sleep in order to have the best health that's possible. So I just want to say to you guys, cheers to all of you. I always wish you a good night's sleep. And hey, do you want to do one more prize time before you go? A live prize time? Boop-a-doop, boop, boop-a-boop-a-doop, boop. Guys, you know what to say. If you want a prize, you just got to say the magic words. I'm going to gulp that coffee down. I am now having iced coffee because I found it's a way to get more water in my day with the ice. That's my sneaky little trick. So I'm not saying it. I just need one person to say the magic words, and I'll just say it. Finally, it's prize time. If you would like to now win a $10 gift card to Amazon that could go towards any product at all on the face of this planet, all you have to say is, thank you, Love to Dream. That's it. Because, if it wasn't for our partners, I'm so excited. Like, if it wasn't for our partners, they give me the opportunity to then go and do research and homework and bring you guys not only great tips about their product, but great tips that are going to help you throughout your day. We focus, at Twiniversity in general, our goal is to try to make you a better parent. Could we really do that? We're trying. We focus so much on our baby's schedule, feeding, sleeping, everything we do. I know, Fred, but you need to pay attention to yourself as well. And never forget that if you do not put on your oxygen mask, you will not be of assistance to anybody else. When it comes to sleep, yes, your kids are going to have an extraordinary sleep opportunity in the Love to Dream, but that doesn't mean that you're going to have that unless you give it to yourself. Give yourself permission to try to get some sleep. And by the way, I really do understand how difficult it is. I know. I've been in your shoes. I've had sick kids. Let me tell you something, even at 15, I still don't have, I have plenty of good sleep nights, don't get me wrong, but there are still nights that you just don't get it. It's just what being a parent is. And eventually, when my kids grow up or go to college or move out, I'm probably going to have like a whole new transition of when I can't sleep because they're not under my roof and I'm panicky about them. So there's many different stages of our life where we have to put ourselves in the forefront and make sure that we are being responsible. And one way that we could be responsible is really getting enough sleep. So, guys, that's it. Jules going to pick a winner. She'll announce it. But don't forget that you still have plenty of time to go and win any 2 products from our friends over at Love to Dream. You tell them the size, you tell them the color, you tell them the product. That is on your time whenever you'd like it. And until next time. Ooh, Raza, you won. See? I knew Julie would announce it. She's good. I missed who won the coffee gift card. Julie will have to tell me after this. But until next time, guys, just a shout out to our friends. I feel like 1980s saying shout out to our friends. But thank you to our friends at Love to Dream in all sincerity. Thank you for letting me talk to the parents about sleep and not just focusing on babies, because it really is, a whole family situation. So thanks to our friends at Love to Dream. Thanks to my whole Twiniversity team who's pulling the strings in the back. So that's you, Jill. I like that. Thanks, Tiger. That's why I feel like my father right now. He used to do that. It's so old. Man, I love it so much. So until next time, guys, check out twiniversity.com. Follow us on all our socials. If you need anything from us, don't hesitate to send a direct message. And please do not forget to go over to our friends at Love to Dream and say a big old thank ya. All right, guys. See you later, alligators, and sweet dreams. Bye, guys.